Want to know why? Ask how. Howard, the humongous. Okay, tonight's episode, Truthout, is falseness. Truthout is lies in. Truthout has said this week that capitalism, green or otherwise, is ecological suicide. The reasoning goes like this. Capitalism depends on innovation. Innovation brings about floods of consumption. Those floods of consumption continue until the next great innovation, which lead to floods of consumption. Capitalism, says Truthout, is based on a model of continuous growth. And since there are limited resources on this planet, eventually continuous growth is going to eat this planet out, leaving no resources whatsoever. Sounds logical, right? I mean, you hear this kind of argument every day. But what's wrong with it? It is a total misperception of the nature of nature. It is a total misperception of natural resources and how they come to be. Once upon a time, approximately 3.5 billion years ago, there was less life, less biostuff on this planet than in your fingernail. In fact, far, far less. And it was up against a challenge. The challenge was to outfox 142 mass extinctions. And how was it going to go about that? Through innovation, followed by consumption. Through developing new ways to turn dead stuff into living stuff, to recruit, seduce, and kidnap dead atoms into the enterprise, the social enterprise of life, to go from being a fingernailful to a shovelful, to go from being a shovelful to an oceanful of life, to go from being mere oceans full of life to being continents full of life. And life has barely begun that process, but what does it depend on? Innovation, followed by periods of growth. Today, because of that innovation and growth, there is green stuff on this planet, so much that we call it nature, even though it's violently unnatural, even though nature, before life stuff came along, was barren, virgin stone and naked, empty water. But if you take a look at this planet from space, you see that this planet has only the thinnest crust of life upon it, and that crust doesn't even extend to most of the land surfaces of the planet. In other words, life has just begun to grow. And without growth, life will not survive. Today, for every ounce of biostuff, living stuff on this planet, there are 120 million ounces of dead stuff waiting to be kidnapped, seduced, and recruited into the life process. That is an awful lot of raw matter to turn into living stuff. And is that what nature's all about? Turning dead stuff into living stuff? Bringing it to a whole new level of existence? You bet. So is capitalism going to kill life and humanity through a cycle of innovation and growth? No, that cycle of innovation and growth is basic to life. It is basic to nature. It is basic to everything that those who are in the eco movement claim that they love. How can they love it if they don't understand it? How can they love it if they refuse to let it be itself? A nature that reinvents itself every day, every month, every year, every eon, every step of the way. And we are part of that natural process. So, I'm afraid to say, is capitalism. This is Howard the Humongous, speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make, or, want to know why? Ask how. And now for that off button that is even harder to find now that we have an LED light in its way. This should be it, is it?